Have you ever felt tired of constantly having to explain yourself? Like, no matter how carefully you choose your words, people just don't get you. And you try to explain what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, what type of job you're doing, what choices you're making, why you're making these choices. And it feels like you have to do that over and over and over again. And still, people don't understand because something is missing. And maybe even at some point you've wondered, what if I am not meant to be understood? What if my soul isn't here to be understood? What if it's here to be felt, to be experienced? That is going to be our topic today. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to HSPTV channel, the place for highly sensitive people, empaths, rebels, black sheep, and soulful leaders who want to live aligned with who they really are. I am your host Barbara, and in today's video we are exploring why your essence doesn't have to be explained, defended, or put into the perfect words, because sometimes your soul is simply here to be experienced. If that speaks to you, then make sure that you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the weekly videos that I will share here. So, constantly having to explain yourself. I know this struggle really well because I lived it. For years, I believed that if I could just explain myself well enough, then people would finally accept me. I tried to explain why I felt what I felt, why I worked the way I did, why I made the choices I made, but they just didn't make sense to other people. And what actually happened is the more I explained, the less I felt seen. Sure, when I was explaining, people were nodding along and they were saying, okay. And at the end, even they said that they understood. But deep down, I just knew that they didn't really get me. And instead of feeling received and accepted, I felt like I was playing a role, like I was performing, like I was translating who I was into layman terms that they would understand, like I had to justify my entire existence. So I don't know if you can relate with this, if and you have a similar experience, but if so, then I would love it if you could let me know in the comments if you've ever felt this same sort of exhaustion from having to over-explain yourself. So what finally landed for me was this. Being understood isn't the same as being received. I could lay it all out, line by line, and still not feel any closer to being known. And yet, there were others who couldn't follow my words at all. But they felt me. They felt my energy. They felt a connection. And that was the moment when it hit me. Maybe my soul isn't here to be fully understood by everybody. And maybe it's only here to be understood by a select few, mainly myself, and for the most part, just to be felt, to be experienced. And when I realized that, I felt such a relief because it meant that I could stop chasing and I could stop trying to have other people understand me to sort of prove my existence. Now, I could stop flattening my essence just to fit into somebody else's frame. And instead, I could let my energy speak. I could let my presence do the work and I could let people feel me, feel my energy, even if they couldn't always explain me. And I also see this with so many of the clients that I am blessed to guide. And one of my clients spent years justifying every decision to her family. She thought if I just explain myself enough, then they'll accept me. But she realized that the more she explained, the less she trusted herself and the further away from her true self she came. And when she stopped defending herself to her family and stopped trying to justify her actions and simply started living her truth, then that didn't automatically mean that her family started to understand her. No, but they did start to feel her authenticity, her steadiness, and over time, her relationships shifted into ones that feel a lot more aligned with who she truly is. And another client of mine kept tweaking how she described her work so that people would get it. But each time that she tried to simplify it, it sort of lost its magic. And when she stopped trying to be understood and let her work be felt, that was the moment when clients started showing up. Not because she had the perfect explanation, but because they resonated with her energy. And yet another client once told me, my whole life feels like a performance just to convince people of who I am. But when she let go of proving and leaned into how she felt in her own skin, everything softened. She found deeper friendships, new opportunities, and a freedom she hadn't felt in years. Have you noticed this in your own life? That when you stop trying to prove yourself or trying to explain yourself, that people actually connect with you more deeply? Drop a yes in the comments if that resonates. So, here is what I believe now. Not every soul is here to be explained, and not every soul is here to be understood. Some of us aren't meant to be neatly packaged or fully understood by the mind. We are here to be experienced, like music. You don't explain a song, you feel it. And when you stop pouring energy into explaining yourself, you create space to simply be yourself. And that is when your presence begins to do its work, wordlessly, powerfully. And this changes everything. Because if your soul isn't here to be understood, then all that energy that you've spent trying to translate yourself into words that just never quite fit, it's not needed. You don't have to fit. You don't have to reduce yourself into tidy explanations. And you certainly don't have to convince anyone of who you are. Instead, you can focus on what it feels like to be you, to let your energy ripple outward without proving, to allow yourself to be felt. And the ones who are meant to resonate with you, they will, not because they understand you with their mind, but because they feel you with their hearts. So I hope this video was valuable to you. I would love it if you could give me your story in return. And if you are looking for a community of like-minded people so that you can share together stories, support each other in your stories as well, learn all about yourself and grow with them, then you might want to check out my Solutions community, the Solutions of the Soul. The link is in the description below. There are many different ways of becoming a member. There are paid memberships. There's also a free membership. I can also understand that you might want to discover who you actually are, what your unique design is, so that you can understand yourself better, understand your path and your purpose in depth, while also healing your traumas, your shadows, and tapping into your specific prosperity. If that is you, then you want to request your Be You by Design blueprint. The link to do so is also in the description below this video. And if you just don't know what you want or what you need, but you resonate with my energy, with my story, or if you want to work with me one-on-one, then I'd love to invite you to book a free clarity call with me. The link to do so is also below this video. And before you go, could you let me know in the comments, do you feel like your soul is here to be understood or to be felt? Because your soul isn't here to be explained. It really is here to be experienced. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel and my work. And I look forward to inspiring you with another video next week. Have an amazing day today.